Greetings again, Choombas. It has been a little while, but I am back. Sorry for the absence. Life happens. But today we are going to talk about shotguns. Shotguns, auto shotguns. We're going to talk about the patterns and how that works. Let me, real quick, I'm going to throw this up though. Please don't forget to subscribe for me and hit the bell. Let them know that you're interested, that you want to be alerted when the new videos come out. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for listening. Anyway, okay, shotguns can be pretty nasty. Basically, shotguns, you can fire pellets, shot, or they can fire slugs, or you can put all kinds of fun stuff into shotgun shells. Now, we're not going to get into all the other fun stuff. We're going to talk about the basics right now. This isn't the more advanced video where you put some incendiaries or put some, I don't know, acid into a shotgun shell, for example. Anyway, we're not going to get into that right now. This one is about the basics of how shotguns work in the game in 2020. Now, shotguns do fire in a pattern. How wide the pattern is determined by how far away you are from your target. Now, close range or point blank is at 1 meter. Medium range is 2 meters. Pattern, this is how wide the pattern is. Long range is 3 meters. Now, this range also affects how much damage you do. The damage listed in the book for a given shot is based on close or point blank range. So as you go up in range, when you go to medium, you lose 1 die 6. You go to long range, you lose a second die 6. So just as an example, it's really common to have a 4 die 6 damage shotgun. Close or point blank, you do the 4 die 6. But when you get to medium range, it drops to 3 die 6. Long range, another one drops to 2 die 6. Okay, that's how that works. Okay, next thing. Now I mentioned the pattern. Now, basically, if there's anything within the pattern, you roll, you hit your target. If there's anything within that pattern, within that distance of your target, they get hit also. They also take damage. Now, if there's cover, if there's something between you and them, they won't, depending on what the cover is, right? Depending on how much it can soak up. But in general, the way it works with shotguns, part of the drawback, there's a lot of benefits, but part of the drawback is, according to the book, if there's anything between you and that target, that other thing that might be in the pattern or the target, then they don't take damage. So there you go. They don't have a lot. In that respect, it's considered that they don't have that much penetrating. It says they are exempt from the effects of the fire if there's something in the intervening space. But if you got there's another NPC that's, say you're at medium range and just 2 meters pattern, and there's another NPC within a meter of your target, they both take the damage, whatever your damage is that you roll. Okay. Now, this doesn't comment. I don't believe it comments in the book specifically on this, but I will state, if as a ref, I would say you roll a different hit area. If you've got multiple targets, they're going to take damage. The damage, if they're all the same range, the damage is all the same, but the area they get hit might very well be different. I'd have you roll different areas, probably. And those areas would have to reasonably make sense, depending on the situation and stuff, too. But, anyway, let's see. Next on the notes here. Okay. If you miss, if you don't hit your target, you fail your roll, say you don't miss it by much, you don't actually fumble, you just fail your roll, then you use the grenade table to determine if you, where you hit, what your target is, what your center of the pattern becomes. There's the grenade table. So you roll die 10, determines what direction. Front, behind you, in front of or behind the target, left or right of the target to an angle of, etc. The roll die 10 determines this. Then you roll a second die 10, and that's how many meters from the target you are. So if you roll, say you roll a 5 for your direction, okay, that's as we're looking at it to the left. You roll a 3 on your second die 10, it's 3 meters to the left. Okay, simple, no big deal. That's how that works. Now, again, whatever that new target point becomes, that's the center of the pattern. So now, if there's anything within the pattern of the size of the pattern of that spot, they take damage. There you go. So if you're at medium range, again, just for example, anything within 2 meters of that new spot takes the damage from your shotgun. Oh, we got fun. Let's see what else here we got on my list. I don't want to miss anything, so I'm looking through my notes to make sure I cover everything. I don't script and I don't edit these things. Okay, that's just the way it works. So, yeah, I got to check my notes and make sure I'm talking about everything I need to talk about. Of course, you roll damage for every individual shot. We mentioned that. Auto shotguns. Yes, that's the next thing I'm going to mention. The Hurricane the Constitution Armor Hurricane is one of my favorites for this as a player. As a ref, not so much. But as a player, I love the Constitution Arms Hurricane. Anyway, so for short range, house to house type combat, or inside a small confined space, auto shotguns they obliterate all, decimate all, I believe is the quote. But anyway, yeah, they're pretty nasty. Again, if you fire, well, now let me say this too. According to the book, whatever the rate of fire of the weapon is, you can roll as many attacks as you want up to the rate of fire. For every additional attack beyond the first, you take a -2. So your second attack, -2, third attack, -4, -6, and so on for every one above it. Now, that sounds like it's pretty bad, especially with the Hurricane. You can take a hell of a lot of shots with the Hurricane, right? Yeah, well, consider, again, the pattern. If you're in a hallway, you're in a relatively tight space, and you fire, even if you got a -6, even if you miss your target completely, now you just roll on that old grenade table to determine where your new hit is. And if you're close, if you're within medium range, or you get a little bit further away, it doesn't do as much damage per shot, but at long range, 3 meters, 9 feet pattern, it cuts your damage down. But how many shots, even if you get a -6, -8 to your shots, you can just keep firing, and it's going to do a hell of a lot of damage off in that general direction in front of you. So if aiming's not as important, if you're not as important at hitting a specific target, and as long as the only things in front of you are stuff you want to destroy, an auto shotgun is most definitely the way to go. Okay. We also mentioned now, it says in the book, it says new rule. Well, they're referring from 2013, which I don't know anybody playing by the 2013 rules, but just to mention it, that's why it says new rule in the 2020 core book, the armor piercing effects of shotgun slugs. Now, basically what it's saying is that shotgun slugs have an armor because there's so much power behind them. They have a normal AP ability versus all armor. Damage that penetrates, and I'm just going straight from the book here on this one. Damage that penetrates the hard armor, any hard armor, is not halved. Damage that penetrates soft armor is halved as normal. Okay, this represents the concussive results of mass and impact by finned, saboed, or slugs. Okay, there you go. Now, let's see. Make sure I covered everything. I don't know if I've covered everything. I'm going to make sure. I want to look over my notes here as I'm talking about this. I did want to mention real quick 10 gauge, just some stat stuff here. 10 gauge slugs are considered 5d6 plus 3. And again, that's the max damage. You lose a die 6 for each range increment you go up. 12 gauge slugs are 4d6 plus 2. 20 gauge slugs, 3d6 plus 1. Okay, some information there. Let's see. I think that's it. I think we've covered everything about the shotguns. Now, in the next one, I don't know. I'm either going to talk about grenades in the next one, and mines, flamethrower, stuff like that. But that might end up being 2 videos. We'll see how that goes. I got to cover explosives. That's coming up real soon. And vehicles. I've had a lot of requests for vehicle combat video, so that's going to be coming up too. That's probably a couple of videos out, but we'll see how it goes. If you have a preference of which one I do next, throw me a comment. Let me know what you want to see. If there's some other rule or some other thing in here that I haven't covered yet, please drop a note down in the comments. Let me know what that is. I will get a video out for you as soon as I can. I appreciate your watching. Thanks for subscribing. And oh, by the way, if you need, I hope you guys haven't left yet because I want to mention this too. If you need a Cyberpunk 2020 character sheet for your game, for your in-person kind of game, even though we got all the crap going on right now in the world, but anyway, drop over at shop.punkgenerator.com. There's a great free Cyberpunk 2020 character sheet that I made over there. You can grab that. Also, if you want some cool shirts, some other swag or something, support the channel. Help me get more of these videos done. I don't have to take breaks like I just did because I got so much else going on. This kind of stuff helps me out. I got that going on. There's other ways to support the channel if you're interested down in the description. Check that out. And of course, subscribe, hit the bell. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I will see you in the next one.
We finished the job, but our story is just beginning.
Wake the fuck up, samurai. We have a city to burn.